Good morning. You are live with Holly and Deanna.
Good morning.
Rise and shine. We're going to give it a couple minutes and see who logs on this morning because we are right at 5 a.m.
Hey, Bob. Hey, Carol. Good morning.
Yes, here we go. I think yesterday we had 10 people log on, so that was really exciting. Every morning it seems a couple more people get on and are interested in seeing while we're up and on Facebook Live. So this is cool. We've got 3 people already and it's been about 45 seconds. So
we're on day 6.
Day 6, and today is Fitness Friday.
Ooh, my kind of day.
Yes. This day is special to you. And John's away. Good morning, John. 1, 2, 3,
Tammy.
4.
Hey, Tammy.
5.
Hey, Sapphire.
All right, a minute down and 5 people are on. This is cool. So we're gonna dive into our Fitness Friday. I think it's really important that we incorporate fitness into these calls because it's a huge part of Deanna's life and has been, since she was a little child. And, well, I guess mine too, but I'm just not quite as intense as she is. So today I'm going to let Deanna do most of the talking. I think it's going to be really interesting to hear about her life, her fitness journey, your setbacks from breaking your jaw, breaking your back. I don't know if you've broken anything else, but I'm sure you've probably broken an ankle or something. So I'm going to let Deanna dive in, and then at the end, I'll just give a quick update on where I'm at with my booty shorts and whether or not they fit.
All right. Well, fitness is definitely something that is easy for me to talk about, something that is a huge piece of my life. I love being active. My parents would tell you from a very, very, very young age. I think they actually said when I was born that I was ready to start playing stuff. So
I believe that.
I started playing just about every sport when I was itty bitty. I actually played on all boys teams until middle school, I think, is when I was required to play on the girls team since they had girls teams. But I played on a boys soccer teams, boys basketball teams, and even boys baseball teams instead of playing softball.
Why is that important to bring up?
I think it was just at that time in my life, or maybe that time in the world, there weren't as many female athletics.
Yeah.
It wasn't as, I guess there wasn't as much for girls to do. It was focused so much on boys, and a lot of that has changed.
So the boys teams were more competitive?
More competitive and more organized. There were more of them. So, and it helped me develop. Also grew up playing pickup basketball at the Y with the adults, which ended up kind of enforcing a rule about how old you needed to be to play pickup.
Oh,
that was interesting.
I can't even dribble. I mean,
so then middle school hit, and the only school sports I played were soccer and basketball. And then into high school, played select soccer, which is a travel league for those of you that don't know. And when I was in high school, in the travel team, the team that was my age in Chapel Hill was not as strong as a team that was in Greensboro, North Carolina. And that's about an hour drive. So in high school, after school, we drove an hour to practice, practice and an hour home. So
Wow.
talk about commitment. Now, fortunately, there were two other girls on my team that lived in the same city that I was real good friends with, and so we would carpool, do our homework in the minivan, and our team was phenomenal. We had players that played on the Olympic team and World Cup.
Wow.
So that was a really great opportunity for me to hone in my skills, and it afforded me the opportunity to get heavily recruited.
What are your skills?
I think I would say drive. I work extremely hard. I don't know that anybody pushes me harder than I push myself. And so I'm
But
always,
drive doesn't get you a full ride to
there was,
college. So.
well, there was definitely some natural ability that I was born
Okay,
with.
there you go.
Absolutely some natural ability. I have some great genes. My dad was
Yeah, it is.
my dad was a two-sport college athlete at Carolina. My uncle played basketball at UK and has an Olympic gold medal. My grandfather was an amazing tennis player. My aunt, my mom was a tomboy and played everything growing up too. So yeah, good genes. In addition to hard work and dedication. And
growing up, you had
I was
sports
supported.
around you.
Yeah, I had sports around me, and I was supported. I was never pushed. My dad actually and I had a conversation the other day about he wishes he had kind of pushed me more into tennis, and then he kind of retracted that and said, not push, but just encouraged me to play more because he was maybe pushed a little too much. But tennis is just such a great sport.
He was pushed too much, but he wished he would have pushed you more.
Well, that's why he retracted it. It means he took that back and said, he doesn't wish he had pushed me. And I said, that probably wouldn't have worked. When you push somebody and it's not something that they're enjoying doing, for me, that's the opposite effect.
Okay, so let's jump into some of the things that have happened to you and set you back.
Well, prior to that, I went and played. Yeah, I did get a full ride and played soccer at UNC Wilmington. Started as a freshman, played all 4 years as a starter, and that was awesome. The team now wins every conference championship. They're phenomenal. I think they breed them larger and faster than they ever did before. But I did have a setback in college when I partially tore my hamstring. That's no fun. Calves used to cramp up on me all the time. Played midfield, so I ran a whole lot. And then after college, I worked in professional women's soccer, and I got to train with amazing players like Tiffany Roberts and Danielle Fotopoulos, Carla Overbeck, just phenomenal athletes, which was really cool. And I played, I did a couple guest plays with the, what are they called here?
I don't have any idea what they're called here.
Charlotte Eagles, the women's team. Realized that playing semi-pro soccer was not what I wanted to do with my life. So I started playing rugby. That might have been a mistake. I broke my intraorbital trying out for I think it was the 7s or 15s regional team. I did make the team, but I broke my intraorbital in the process and then had to reduce my training before we went to nationals. From playing rugby, I was playing at NC State illegally since I didn't go to school there. And then once I got busted, I had to just become a coach and only play rugby regionally. And then I was one of 50 women across the U.S. that got invited to try out for the U.S. national team. So that was really cool. That was for 7s. I liked 7s a lot better than 15s because it was a lot faster pace. Same size field, but only a total of 14 players versus 30 on the field. Then I think I probably, I tore my shoulder and some other things. Mom hated that I played rugby, but it was a wonderful social sport and something that you can do post-college. I played ultimate frisbee,
Why didn't your mom
sand
like that?
volleyball, just because the contact. It is an extremely rough sport. Imagine just football without any pads, no helmets. You only wore a mouth guard on your top teeth.
So basically, you were going out on the field to get beat up.
I was trying to avoid that by running really fast, but I would always still
But
have to,
inevitably,
I would still have to tackle. So
you have to just.
and there's a way to do it and wrap and pull where you're minimizing, but you still got to adjust and
Yeah, I don't know how you train to get ready to just get sacked.
you like those sack stuff. I remember like running into trees. I mean,
What?
you just run into anything and
Fall down and try to like brace your fall.
yeah, sort of. I mean, we did a lot of tackling exercises. You can
That's
practice those later if you want.
Yeah, I don't really want to get sacked.
After I hung up my rugby boots, I don't know. I know I did. I played in an international women's flag football tournament in Key West. That was amazing. I didn't realize there was professional women's football, but I had a lot of those girls on my team, and they were impressive. And then I think, I had a friend say, "Hey, you want to do a triathlon?" I was like, "That sounds cool." So I had to kind of reteach myself how to swim from being on a swim team when I was a little kid. I had a college swimmer kind of reteach me the technique of breathing and strokes, and so I started training for that. That was an awesome experience.
Okay, so all around, you're just amazing. But I really wanted you to go into
The setbacks.
the setbacks and what you've had to do now that you're just a hair over 40.
Yeah,
It seems like yesterday.
yeah.
And what that's really like, because I think that we have a lot of people that log on that are, interested in, okay, so Deanna's awesome. She's got an awesome body. Everybody knows that you can dribble a ball, kick a ball, shoot a ball, throw a ball, whatever else you do, and all these other sports. But you've had some major setbacks.
Yeah.
Just in
So the most major
the time that
setback.
we've been together, you've had a lot of really major ones.
Yeah, right before Holly and I met, I was probably in the best physical shape of my life. I had been training quite intensively. I had, again, a friend that was, no, actually my cousin, it was Amanda, that said, you should run a Spartan race. And I was like, well, what is that? And it sounded cool, obstacles, another, physical challenge. Okay, yeah, sounds good. And so I started talking to a few friends about it, and they said, you should compete in the elite heat. I didn't know what that was. So I said, okay. I'll come to find out the elite heat is where everybody that's a professional or sponsored is running. It is the first race that goes off after the men's elite heat. So the Spartan race was awesome. I think I finished 6th out of all females, and there's a really cool picture that was taken where I was passing the men, and they started 15 minutes before us. So, but that was probably the prime of my fitness. And then not too long after that, well, I guess it was maybe a year or two, because it was 4 years ago. It was just a regular day, and my disc ruptured in my spine. Now, I had been playing a lot of sports. I was probably playing on 5 to 7 teams a week at that time, between sand volleyball, just everything. So it wasn't
mainly sand volleyball and soccer.
Yeah, it wasn't that I wasn't active. I was very active, but I just had kind of a twinge in my back, and we tried to stretch it out. And then one day it just decided it was going to rupture, and it shot a fragment into my sciatic nerve. So it took my sciatic nerve and went like that. And they, I was.
Yeah, this was also like 2 months after we got married.
Oh yeah.
And
Oh, yeah.
I remember taking me to the hospital and thinking, did I just marry a lemon? Just kidding.
Awesome.
No, I'm just joking.
For better or worse.
Yeah. But
Lemon.
as you were saying, you were in the best shape of your life. You're playing on all these teams all around, awesome sports.
Yeah.
Sportswoman?
It
Is
was
that a
a-
thing?
Can
Sportswoman.
be. Sure.
And we had just gotten married. You had pretty much moved in. We had just sold your house. You know, it was like we were starting our life together. And then walking up the stairs, and I just remembered, well, actually, I had already gone to work. Your dad said you had hit the ground, called, asked if I could come home and see, you know, if I needed to take you to the doctor.
And it just got worse and worse. And then I did have to go to the emergency room, and they couldn't see me right away. And there's, I don't know how many days there's in there that I don't recall, because they had to
an entire week.
They had to drug me out so much to not feel the pain before they could get me in for surgery to remove all the
just to get you in for a MRI. It took a couple of days.
It was miserable.
It was so bad.
Stretch a lot. Always stretch. I think that was something that I didn't do enough, and especially with women, with our hips and our hamstrings and the way they pull at our spine, you just need to stretch. So that happened. They went in, they dug everything out, got all the fragments out, thought I'd be okay with some residual damage. Over the next 4 years, the disc just completely deteriorated between my S1, L5, and L4. And so finally, and I had done so much in those 4 years. I mean, trying to do every kind of physical therapy, acupuncture, dry needling, cupping, like you name it. I was doing. Even people would say, "Well, don't drink. You know, do the O plus diet, O positive diet, blood type diet. Do the blood type diet. Reduce inflammation." So I stopped drinking coffee for 1.5 years. Caffeine, like I was trying everything. Anytime somebody said, "Well, try this," it worked for me, I would try it. Nothing was working well enough to be sustainable. So the disc completely deteriorated. I ended up having to have a double fusion on my spine. So I have a lot of really cool screws and some metal plates and bionic back now. And that was 6 months ago. So it takes, they say, 1 year for your main recovery of that. So I'm 6 months in.
I think the biggest thing with this surgery this year that I've just noticed in just day-to-day life is that you don't complain as much about pain.
Oh, yeah.
And maybe complain's the wrong word, but, you know.
I'm not suffering as much as I was before.
Yeah. On a day-to-day, you would just be like, oh, no, always just, you know, trying to figure out how you could just get out of that, you know,
kind of
acute pain all the time.
Yeah,
so
my norm before the fusion was a 4 or 5 on a daily with pain, and I don't like to take things medication wise, so I would just take a couple ibuprofen or a couple aspirin, and then it would spike so easily to a 10, whether I was, you know, picking up our girls or just turning to do something or, you know, using a tool, whatever it was, it would just spike out of nowhere to where I couldn't, or sneezing. That would send me to my knees.
Almost.
So yeah, sneezing was really bad. So yeah, it was a major setback. It was a huge mental roadblock for me because of my daily fitness was such a piece of my daily activity to not be able to work out, but not even just not be able to work out, not be able to function normally. It was heartbreaking. It makes me want to cry.
No,
I know you're looking
don't
at me
cry.
like,
I'm like, there goes that vein. She's gonna cry. Don't cry right now.
Well, it was rough. It still is rough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still working through it. Yeah.
Well, so tell everybody then how you kept your six pack, because you put on a bathing suit and everybody's like, oh, wow, one day I want to look like that.
Well, I guess that took a lot of work beforehand building up to that to have that base, but I do pay attention to what I eat. But I do like to eat a lot of yummy good stuff too. So I think it's just a balance, especially as I get older and have now crossed over into the 40s. My body doesn't do as much as I would like for it to, or react the way.
I think the biggest thing you totally just passed over. So the advice would be, one, work really hard and get your body into a place that you're happy with it.
Yeah, especially in your prime.
And then two, even if you can't do as strenuous of a workout, you still have done something every single day.
I like to. Yeah.
Well, I think that's important, to take a second and just to say that, you're not running. I mean, when we first met, you'd book it at 5:30, 6 a.m., come back completely drenched, look like you found a pond, jumped in, and came home. But now, even though you're not doing, running 4, 5, 6 miles a day, you are still doing.
I'm doing a lot
different type of strenuous workout.
Non-impact.
Yeah,
is the main thing right now. Running puts a lot of impact on your body.
So it took us a long time because I guess I asked the wrong question, knowing that you would want to go into all the awesome things that you did. Okay, but real quickly, what are your goals now? What are some things that all these people, Tammy and Sapphire, Kristen, Jessica, let's see who else, 8 more comments.
Oh my goodness.
Allison,
hi,
Chris, Gail, Brandy.
Swim, bike, run. That's right.
What are some of the things that all of these people that are logged in right now and interested in hearing what you have to say, that they can watch over sort of this transformation period?
I think for me, it's a huge mental adjustment to not be able to do the things that I wanted to do. And we all come across ailments, especially as we age. So I think it's important to make fitness a part of your daily routine, no matter what degree you're doing that. So if you are just stretching, then stretch. If you're a yogi, do your yoga. Pilates, non-impact stuff is great. I still love a runner's high, but it's been several months since I've been allowed to run, and at least 6 more before I'm allowed to. So I have to find that in other places. As an example, yesterday, I did the rolling stair climber at a 9, and it's random. And if you don't go, you're going to fall off, so you have to go. And I was drenched, like I jumped in a pond afterwards. But it's awesome. And I watch Ninja Warrior to keep me focused, because I see these older people that are hanging on by their fingertips going through these obstacles, and it's amazing. But stretching has become a big part of my life, where it probably never was before. As a kid, you're so much more limber, and it's boring. So, well, it was boring, so we didn't do it. Now I love it. So spend the time really warming up and cooling down. Yeah, absolutely.
Even last night, reading to the girls, we read Curious George Goes to Gymnastics.
Ooh, yeah.
And one of the 3 S's for working out was stretching.
Yeah.
So that was interesting for toddlers for it to be in even a toddler book, saying this is important.
And the girls will stretch with me when they come in and see that I'm finishing a workout. I think it is important to kind of plant that seed in their head at a young age. But I think also just the mental side of it is allowing yourself to be okay. I'm never going to I'm not going to be in the shape that I was in prior to my back breaking.
Well, maybe.
I don't know that it's physically possible with the way that my back is now.
Well, probably not playing those,
Right.
super intense contact sports.
But I can have a new physically fit for me with a mental adjustment.
Yeah. And Carol says,
um,
sorry about your pain. I'm inspired to get my fitness on.
Get it on, girl. It's so
it.
important. The endorphins that you get from working out, the way it helps your body and your brain, it helps your relationships because you have more positive energy and natural energy instead of supplemented energy. It's just overall, fitness is just such a great impact on your overall well-being, and I encourage everybody to do something that challenges your body to get in better shape. It's good?
Yeah.
Any more questions? I could talk all day about fitness, but we won't do that today.
Well, I think, no, just my last question would be, as more and more people start logging on, and what I've noticed by just sharing my goals on Facebook is that there are actually people that text me and, comment on my posts, and they want to know where I'm at with my goals. And so I think it's going to be important as we go through this journey together that they can also start asking you about your goals.
Okay.
So what are some of your fitness goals that everybody can keep up with, and give it to us in like 2 minutes or less?
For me, it's just it's a feeling. My weight usually only fluctuates about 5 pounds, but I don't feel tight and strong right now like I like to feel. So for me, I need to get some more of that muscle and tightness back on.
So Orange Theory has this new machine. I haven't done it, but somehow you stand on it and you hold these
measure
poles.
Your BMI, and
it also measures your your muscle mass index or something.
Yeah. BMI, your body mass index.
Well, but that's a lot about fat.
Well, no, it breaks down your fat, your muscle, and your water. Usually.
Well, I'm going to go today, so I'm going to ask them, and maybe that's something you can stop by and have measured so that we can have a baseline.
All right, that's fair.
And then I also am interested in going and doing that water displacement thing.
Mm-hmm.
Remember what it was called? That like water pod, or
yeah.
Mm-hmm. You know what I'm talking about, but do you know what it's called? I'm going to look into it, and I'll let you guys know today, because there's also this really cool thing. You get in like this little bean looking thing.
And you're saying that because for me, I can't just get on a scale to really find out, if I'm making an improvement. It's for me, it's all just been about how I feel. And I'm feeling better now that we have started this challenge. And we started this challenge
Sunday.
really like a week and a half ago to kind of prepare. But I also...
we slowly moved back the clock for a week so that Sunday wouldn't feel as bad, even though it was still unbearable.
We moved it back for her. I was already getting up and working out at 5-something in the morning. Yeah. But the no drinking has been a bigger part of it. The drinking a glass of water first thing has been new for me, which I enjoy. So anyways, I'm open to seeing how that would work. I also want to be more flexible. I'm from the surgery. I'm extremely tight, as you can imagine, in that like lower back and hip area.
You also have a plate and a handful of screws
that are keeping me from bending so well. But yesterday I had physical therapy, and as we're doing this challenge, I was like, I wonder how much more frequent I can go to physical therapy. So I didn't tell you yet, but I basically set an appointment for every week for the rest of the year.
Wow.
Because I'm at my deductible with my $300,000 back surgery and out of pocket. So now I can go to my physical therapy and no charge. Thank you, insurance. So yeah, I set a ton of appointments.
There you
I had
go.
like 23 available.
Hey, that's awesome.
So Matt, our physical trainer, was like, no, we can work on something every day, every time, something new.
Cool.
So I went and did physical therapy, got a workout in, and then went and got neuromuscular massage, which really helped loosen things up. So I am just being more focused and
so we're going to go do some tests.
okay.
We're going to figure out sort of where you're at. Use that as a benchmark.
Yeah.
Make a goal for the end of the year.
Okay.
And then we'll sort of keep updating your progress along with my goals and where I'm at and what I want to be able to do by December 31st,
right.
Which probably means December 31st. We'll have to do a quick workout because by then I want to be able to run a mile in 8.5 minutes.
And I did get my surgery at Carolina Neurosurgery and Spine, and they asked me to participate in a study. So with that, they're doing a lot of great tracking, and I will have a CT scan coming up here soon, I believe.
Oh, cool.
In addition to the
so we can talk about that too.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right.
Well, I think you guys can tell that from Sunday to now Friday, TGIF, we are a little bit more lively and a whole lot more willing to talk because we have been trying to stay somewhat under, 6 to 10 minutes, and this has been 32 minutes.
Oh,
thanks for everybody.
Seriously?
Yeah, you talk a lot.
Sorry, guys.
That's why I was like, okay, I'm going to have to ask her questions, or we're going to be hearing about how you hit your first ball at 6 months old or something.
Yeah.
So we are rolling.
Go be great.
Go be great.